open somewhere. It's probably
Yeah, in case
All
you wanna.
right, guys. Thank you for coming and hanging out with all of us once again. Thanks to Baby Omega for bringing the one guy who we probably don't really have to introduce. It's Aggie hanging out with us today. We got in the crowd so far for sure Stock Jockey, the People's Guild host Bajangles, and there's probably a few more that'll come rolling in for our show as we get going. You want to go ahead and say hi, Aggie?
yeah. Hey, it's a pleasure to have me here. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for keeping the lights on the player generated social media content. And just glad to be here.
And Baby Omega, you want to say hi to the others that are showing up and just tell them
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm glad you're joining us again today with our special guest. And obviously, since we have him here, we'll have to try to get to squeeze as much alpha as we can from the our two projects in Venium and Arcade Colony. So let's do that.
yeah, and we can call this out pretty early on since Bajangles already brought it up. You have your appearance on Apple TV on the it's the Crypto Sharks, or maybe you can pronounce it. I don't remember the exact name.
Yeah, Killer Whales is a show. I went and I filmed that back in October. So it's been a while since we did it. I think there's a showing in like a week. That's prior to the Apple TV launch, and then I think it's sometime in March is when the episode airs on Apple TV. And I've done like little stupid interview things for shows before, but that I think is going to be the biggest thing that I've ever personally done. That like Apple TV is real, right? Like that's like actual media. That's like actual, hundreds of millions of people have access to that. So
Yeah,
that could
and
be huge and huge for our game.
yeah, and those type of shows that it's based off of, even when projects don't get picked up, it usually at least leads to a ton of people checking out your website, checking out what you're building, possibly getting into it. So that's what I think we have to be ready for. I think a lot of us who are content producers, we have to be ready to talk about the game, have videos about it, make sure that we're talking about what's going on. I know I've been slacking a little. I'm going to try to get back into the game. And I got banned on Twitter and it ruined me for like a month where I didn't want to
Holy
make
crap.
content anymore because I started sharing it onto Twitter and I was getting more views on Twitter than YouTube. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then I joined an organization that was breaking the rules and I didn't know it. They let me in because I was like putting stuff out, and then the whole organization got banned at one time. And
Brutal.
I just got back on like 2 weeks ago. It was kind of funny,
Oh, you got it back?
but yeah, I just got it back
Oh,
like
nice.
literally about a week ago after being banned for like a month, and I was like, this is ridiculous because Elon's unbanning everyone, but but somehow I'm banned. We're talking about crypto projects and Splinterlands and stuff. So
Personally persecuted by Elon himself.
yep, that's how I felt. No. But there's been a ton going on, not only in the crypto world. We got our ETFs. Bitcoin is starting to go up. We have a halving coming, and then at the same time, you have you guys doing one of the things that I think a lot of us thought would be the most ambitious move, and that was bringing Unity games to the Hive blockchain. Now, you're doing this through the Arcade Colony, and your first game that you're doing with is featured here, Moon Carts. Thanks for playing with me last week when my co-host kind of ditched me. He forgot about our show, and I didn't know what to do. And then, boom, I got a link, and I was playing this for probably about 30, 40 minutes, even after we had our match. It's a fun little addictive game. And then the airdrop for the Arcade Colony token is starting really soon. Do you want to go over that really quick with the crowd, just for anybody who doesn't know maybe what's going on or how they're going to be able to get these tokens that are going to be such a big part of this platform?
Yeah. So just you're spot on with what you're describing. So thanks for being kind of on top of this. Um, you know, my I, when Matt and I founded Splinterlands, our ultimate objective was like we want to go change lives and we want to get people into crypto. And when we looked at the landscape, there wasn't like any, you know, player facing anything that you could do. You could like trade on an exchange, and that was the only thing that existed. And we're like, okay, we have to make games. If people are going to come here, it's got to be through gaming. So that's why we like started these companies and started this project. We love crypto, and we just want people to come join us. We think it's a life-changing experience for everybody that gets involved. So we've worked on Splinterlands for years, and trying to get that next player and grinding out one more player at a time, I think is super hard. There's infinite things to do in this world, and so dragging somebody just into Splinterlands in particular it's a challenge, and the learning curve is steep. There's no other game that I know of that plays just like Splinterlands. So, you have to learn all this stuff. You have to buy all these cards. You have to get into these matches. You have to deal with some salt lords that have been here for a while. It takes a lot to like really get yourself into it. And I started thinking, I think that there's easier and better ways to go bring people into crypto. And the fastest method I could personally think of was, what if we could get an entire community of gamers that already exist, that have already been playing their game, and like, fish for them like if we had a giant net, and like cast that net, catch all of these players and bring them into our ecosystem. And that to me is like what is Arcade Colony. It's a platform for games. And there's a lot of criticism around crypto games that they just suck, that there's no gameplay. They're just DeFi wrappers that have like a shitty GUI. If you can make Unity games and like real games in Unity, it's a super popular Web 2 game engine. If we could take any game that exists, you go to like the Apple Play Store, and something like 30 to 40% of all the games are built in Unity. So, okay, if we could take that and then help those guys convert their Web 2 game to Web 3 and then bring them into Web 3, we could be taking millions of people at a time and bringing them into the ecosystem and doing it with like beloved games. My thought is something like, Candy Crush is really, really popular. Is Candy Crush ever going to do this? Probably not. They're going to stay Web 2. But there's all these like Candy Crush clones that still have like hundreds of millions of downloads. So at some point, would you rather be first in crypto or ninth in Web 2? And my guess is that some of these companies are going to want to come over and bring their hundreds of millions of downloads with them. And so we wanted to help people do that. And a lot of the options that exist for like platforms, I think are weak. I don't know how people really build on them, how you scale on them. Splinterlands has done 3.5 billion games, and we've done billions of on-chain transactions. That's not something that these groups typically showcase. So I think we're entering into the cycle where we finally break through into like the mainstream, and we're able to go take popular games, bring them here, bring people here in giant chunks. And every time we do it, it gets easier because like the audience in this ecosystem grows. You get one additional game with 20,000 people. Okay, well, now there's 20,000 more incentives for the next game to come. Maybe that brings 50,000. Well, it's now combined. You now have an extra 70,000 people around here. So the next one is like 150,000. Great. Now we're up to 220,000 people just from 3 games. I mean, like, this shit gets exponential very rapidly. And hopefully we're able to go pull in tons and tons of games, and this becomes a super fun place and super competitive to go get your game on. That's the vision.
Yeah, but in case somebody haven't read the post or whatever, like, can you just briefly tell us about the airdrops that are coming and the details about it?
Yeah, sure. So there's we're gonna reward players. So we built Splinterlands came first, and then the thing that came after that was Genesis League Sports. And Genesis League, we want to go do the same kind of approach, but it's meant for sports games. Sports games are great in a bull market. They are a challenge in the bear, because they typically have like minimum guarantees and sign up costs and professional athletes and all this other stuff that make that hard. But we built this technology originally with Genesis League Sports. And so, the people that bought those cards and bought these things, we just thought, hey, we gotta support this community and reward this community. So the way that it works is that if you are, there's going to be an airdrop. So in total, there's something like 21 billion tokens that are going to be coming out over the next 20 years for Arcade Colony. And I think it's 1 billion of those is reserved for the initial airdrop, and then sort of an ongoing airdrop. And the initial airdrop is based off of how many GLX tokens you have and how many GLUSD tokens you have. So, you can either stake them in Genesis League Sports, or you can stake them into liquidity pools in tribal decks. But if you own these tokens and you're staking them, you'll get airdrops, or you'll get an initial shot at tokens within this colony system. And colony, so there's going to be 2 tokens. And this is a pattern that Matt and I have done multiple times now, where you have dark energy crystals as your stable coin and SPS as your governance token. Then in the Genesis League Sports side, we did GLX as your governance token and GLUSD as your stable coin. And we're doing this again, where you have your colony token as your governance token and your script token as your stable coin. And so those 3 are going to keep acting that same kind of way. We like this system, this whole flywheel system, where you can burn your governance token and get stable coin. And that's really the only way to get stable coin. So that happens in 11 days. So the snapshot's in 11 days. So if you're familiar with Splinterlands and you've been part of this ecosystem for a while, hopefully you got some GLX airdrops, and hopefully you kept them. Because if you keep them, then you're going to get colony airdrops. So you'll get airdrops on your airdrops if you're holding and keeping all this stuff, that you're earning over time.
And then after that, there is also SPS holders included, right? So
yeah, so so GLX is a group that most recently I think that we have to owe some thanks to and owe some gratitude to. But the OGs are clearly the Splinterlands guys that came first. So I'm trying to honor everybody, where it's something like, all right, for the very initial distribution, it's based just off your GLX and GLUSD holdings. But going forward, there's still some airdrops, and it's over a 5-year period, and that's going to go to your SPS staker and your GLX staker. So if you are staking these things because you want staking rewards in Splinterlands, or you're battling and doing all this stuff, and you're earning in the game, you will additionally start earning more of these colony tokens, or that's like an additional reward that you get simply for staking GLX within the Genesis League Sports ecosystem, or staking SPS as part of the Splinterlands ecosystem.
And all the games will be with the arcade, and with the arcade token, and with the script token, like all the future games that are coming into the platform, into the arcade colony, they will be the same token.
So I think that there's our ecosystem now has kind of like 3 silos. So you'll have Splinterlands. So like in the Splinterlands ecosystem, one example of a game that can come there is the Soul Keep, right? So that was talked about at the town hall recently. But Soul Keep is like an IP that's associated with Splinterlands. So that's gonna, that's a game that can go to the Splinterlands silo. In the Genesis League Sports, we want sports games. So the first one that we have there is Major League Soccer Players Association, and it's been slow to get another game to be on there in the bear market. But if we're in this giant bull market that I've been talking about for a while, we're going to get other games, and they're going to be Unity games, and they're going to reward your GLX token, and you'll spend your GLUSD, and you'll be able to do that sort of vision, but for sports games for GLS. So you'll have anything Splinterlands related will be in that Splinterlands ecosystem. Anything sports related is going to be in your Genesis League Sports ecosystem. And then lastly, we'll have Arcade Colony, and Arcade Colony is like everything else. So if you're any kind of video game that's not sports related and not directly tied to Splinterlands IP, it'll live on Arcade Colony. And that's our like three silo ecosystem.
Yeah, what I meant is the games that come on Arcade Colony, are they going to be with the same two tokens like any? Because I mean, when new teams comes, they might want to introduce their own token or whatever. Would it be like a rule of thumb that whoever comes, this is the way it's going to be?
At a minimum, I think they'll give away your colony tokens. So you'll go to the
Uh-oh.
DAO and say, "Hey DAO, I've version of Duck Hunt, and I want to go have all my players shoot ducks." And you will say, "Hey DAO, we would like a number of tokens that we can award our players," and they'll say, "Fine, here's 10 million tokens per year for 5 years." And the DAO will award a new game, basically provide them an incentive to go join this community and release this token. So that's the basis. If they want to launch their own Duck Hunt token, they can do that. And if they want to release, so NFTs, they can do that. But the core of the ecosystem, sort of, I know it's built on a layer two, but if you want to think of it as like the base layer token, that's going to be your colony token. And the DAO has the ability to say these different games can get this many tokens to go give away. And so it's not you're asking like this is the weirdness of being at Web3. If you're like Agro, are you going to give these away? I'm going to be like I'm not anybody. The DAO, you're going to have to ask the DAO, right? You go to the DAO and say, hey, I want some tokens so that I can give them away. And you're going to give me these tokens because I'm going to bring new players here because I'm going to bring a new game here. And if that all works, then whatever game forms, whether it's a MOBA, whether it's a RPG, whether it's a real-time strategy, it doesn't matter. Like they'll get some colony tokens, they'll give them away, and that's going to be used to entice players to come join this ecosystem.
Yeah, and it'll probably be what gives the arcade colony so much use case for the people in the ecosystem is the governance of voting over how that all works. Similar to how we voted to give a million SPS, I think, to Soulkeep, right, to use as rewards when that game gets going. And
exactly. So you're gonna want to hold the.
I was going to say, I'd imagine a lot of Unity games too, baby. I don't think they'll necessarily want to make a token if you've already got two tokens they can use, because some of them might not have that Web3 experience.
No, I was just wondering how the whole scheme is made. Like this is our rules, you guys. We're bringing you here, and then you have to follow our rules, or it's like more flexible, so people that want to bring their games would actually have a say. And also, is the DAO actually the one that is going to decide where a game comes to Arcade Colony? Like, is every game going to be voted from now on? Like after there is the DAO, like after the airdrop is done and we have the tokens and everything. What are your thoughts?
If they want quote unquote free tokens, right? So the DAO should be giving tokens to games that come here. That would be the argument. So like, if I already have an audience and I don't care about your stupid token, but I'd like to go mint NFTs here, they can join and they don't need to ask the DAO. You just ask the DAO if you're like, hey, I want 10 million tokens for 5 years so that, we have this financial incentive for players to come. And the DAO is willing to do that because you're providing a service. You're creating a game, you're creating an entertainment vehicle, you're attracting players. The DAO, if the game looks fun and it looks like it's well built and the developers don't seem like a scammy bunch of bastards that are just going to rug pull, then we should go be awarding tokens to them and say, hey, great, thanks for coming here. Here's some tokens. Don't keep them. Your job is to go give these tokens away to the people that play your game. But if for whatever reason, if a game is big enough, they might not even need colony tokens, but they might want a way to print NFTs or print their own tokens or do whatever. And for that reason, they might join Arcade Colony, but not ask the DAO. So, if you need a handout, then you'll ask the DAO, and if you don't, you can come here without it, and we'll help people put their game here, and maybe they'll just sell their own tokens or sell their own assets. They don't need Colony to entice people, but my guess is that everybody that comes here, at least to start, is going to be looking for some number of Colony tokens to kickstart their game.
Yeah.
There's a question from Tails out in the crowd, and this is a little bit about something going on with the airdrop, and it's kind of a play that I've talked about making before. The GUSD token is getting matched 1-to-1 with the script token. So in theory, I could come buy $1,000 worth of GUSD, hold it, and I'll get 1,000 script tokens at the end of the airdrop, correct? So it's kind of like I get a free $1,000 to invest into the other game by investing 1,000 into this token right now, right?
And it can be even better than that, because if you go and you stake it into liquidity pools, you can go get 2-to-1. So like if I have one of the pairs is DEC and GLUSD. So those are two stable coins. That's probably the least chaotic pool that there is. So if you take like 1,000 GLUSD and you match it with $1,000 worth of DEC, then you'll actually get 2,000 script if it's in the liquidity pool. So yeah, you'll get matched your tokens, whether you just hold them in Genesis League Sports, or if you stake them, you can get additional tokens because you're risking twice as much money. So yeah,
and the other part of his question is just like he wanted you to go through the thought process and why doing that, as opposed to forcing people to burn Colony right away if they wanted to get the stable token. I think it's to bootstrap people buying stuff, but is that kind of where your mind is?
Yeah, it's a mix of things, right? It like the amount of GL USD in the world is not very big. It's like 200,000, maybe 250,000 last time I looked. So we're not talking about like tens of millions. It's not like DEC where there's like trillions of these things or whatever out there. It's a very small circulating amount. So we're not talking huge dollars amount. But part of that is to give people some excitement. Part of that is to support the GLS ecosystem and where that's been. That's had a couple years of a rough bear market. A lot of these like token ecosystems have had a hard time. So I think it's a little bit about building hype. It's a little bit about rewarding the players that have stuck around and helped and supported us and paid some of our bills as we sold them cards and got them packs and helped us build this infrastructure. And some of it is like getting people hyped and excited for what's here. If you're excited about this, this is actually like a pretty good opportunity. All told, it's only like 1 or 2% of the circulating supply of script that's going to go out. So it's not like a massive amount, but like there's not a lot of opportunities that are like this where you can just kind of like airdrop your way into a project. So I think it's in this like sweet spot to me where there's not tons of tokens, so it provides an incentive to collect the ones that exist and kind of get into this project. It's not so much that we're going to like dilute the crap out of the entire ecosystem because that's not good. But it's in this like little sweet spot where if you've been part of this community, what's going on, you're paying attention. Maybe you have a longer term horizon and can see like, oh, this halving is coming, and oh, the ETFs have already parked billions of dollars. Maybe they're going to keep doing that. And if you have that kind of like mindset of it seems like good things are coming. It is a kind of like a once in a while opportunity to get into this ecosystem, kind of seed tokens at a meaningful but not very large amount, and get this economy kind of like kicked off. So that's how I drew it up. That's how I saw it. That's what we put out to the players. Seems like there's been quite a bit of interest so far. and we'll see what happens over the next 11 days because this baby's getting started soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're definitely, there has been some hype going into this. We had a great run up on the token. It pulled back a little bit now, so this is where I'm probably going to move some funds over and start getting a little bit more GLS to stake, and then a little bit. I'm probably going to do the play you mentioned, the DEC with GUSD. Given, guys, it's not financial advice, but if you want to invest in moon carts and you don't want to have to, just put in money fresh, they've given you a way to get some for free to get in there. And it's really, I think it's a really cool thing because, like you said, to be honest, at the beginning of this, the real people that are going to have a chance to take advantage of this are those of us who have been in the ecosystem, are in the know, that see this coming, and maybe a few people who pay attention when we go screaming out there to the void.
Yeah, this is it is definitely an advantage to the people that have been here, but it's not so much of an advantage that it screws everybody after. That's that's what I think is fair.
Oh,
Like
especially with these prices of the tokens, yeah, it's everybody can just jump in.
yeah, I mean this has been a long bear. I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's a fun opportunity. Like and when we get it, so Mooncarts only has something like 500,000 packs total. So with like Splinterlands and for Chaos Legion, we did 15 million packs. And I forget what it is for Rebellion. I think it's 10 million packs. So with a burn, so those are much larger numbers. With Moon Carts, it's just like, we've been up there forever. Let's go give these guys something that like basically it for, since 2021, this is going to be the smallest kind of drop that we've done or smallest opening that we've done. So I think there's a real opportunity here. I think it's pretty exciting. I have personally like a crap ton of tokens staked that I'm excited for this thing. And I want moon cards. That game is like 2 minutes of pure adrenaline, right? So like, I thought it was fun and I played around in the single player and it was just like, this drifting and all that is pretty fun. But I tell you, like when this thing is live and you're in a 6-man race and you got all these other carts and all these other yahoos shooting off their abilities, hitting you with lightning, sound effects everywhere. You're like trying to run around the track, hitting into the walls, doing whatever. I find myself laughing my ass off. And one of the trolliest parts of the game is like you're going to go collect coins, you're going to collect these things called orbitals, and you're going to store them in your cart. And I just can't wait to be able to like shoot those things out of people. So like if I'm losing, at the very least, I could go mess with Steve, right? Like how awesome would that be? Fine, I'm not going to win, but neither are you. It's just like the trolliest game.
The thing I proved to myself last week playing it on stream, like after we raced, I kept racing and you were nice enough to give codes to the guys in my chat. We were laughing our asses off. We were playing, they were commenting, I was chatting. We played, I don't know, like 6 races in a row. And I was like, this is different. Like when I stream Splinterlands and I play, I can talk about the game. A couple people might say good match, but it's not like people yelling in the chat, "Oh, I can't believe you just did that to me. Ha ha, I got you." So it's a much better game to stream. It's fun, it's quick, it's repetitive. And the way that you've made it, you invest in your car and then you could just go race and race and race and race. Now I think there is an energy aspect to it, so you can't just race all day. But if you get your friends together, you can do your races. It's more. It feels like more of a, like you said, like an arcade game, and so it's very aptly named the Arcade Colony in my mind.
Yeah, we definitely are going after like let's bring all the arcade. I grew up in an arcade. I'm like, I'm a freaking Gen X. So I went to literal arcades from the day that I was like 5 on the Jersey coast going to arcades. Like, so it's a no brainer that I'm like, yeah, let's go build a Web3 arcade. And this game, we're gonna have a fuel system. So you will be able to play all day, but you have to be staking a bunch to be able to have the fuel to do it, or you got to be buying fuel if that's what you want to be doing. We're working on the free to play version of this too, so that you could just sit around and play all day with your friends, and that we want to encourage that, but you're not earning anything. Um, you'll earn the stuff that you always earn, the things that are like, oh, I got another cart, and another driver, and another whatever. Yay! You can't trade it, you can't sell it, you can't rent it, you can't do anything with it. But in the free to play style of things, we'll let you earn it. But in the play to earn version, you're going to have a garage and you're going to have to stake extra cards to get the fuel to be able to race. So that's how this whole magic happens. You can't just get one card and one driver and run around all day. You got to be staking cards if you want the fuel to play.
You wanna leak some alpha, the stuff that we haven't heard already, or at least tell us whatever is already clear how the sale of the packs will be going, what currency will be accepted, what the pricing will be like. Anything that is clear already that you can share.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about this. I don't think it's going to change. We're going to do the total packs for sale will be 500,000, and they're going to be $5 each, and they'll have 5 cards in them, and half that money goes to the DAO. So half of that comes to us, half of it goes back to the people that are buying, but it's just in this community pot for the players to do what they want with. And the you'll be able to spend script. So just like you can buy, I could buy Chaos Legion for $4 in credits, or I could spend 4,000 DEC. And if DEC was kind of below par, I'd be getting a discount. That same system is going to work here, except that you would spend your script token rather than DEC to go get that kind of discount. So
Would there still be the percentages like for 100 packs, for 1,000 packs, for like
yeah, we'll have stuff like that. So I think we're using the exact same numbers Splinterlands does, but I don't have that memorized off the top of my head. But 100 packs, I think is 5%. 500 packs is 10%, and
2,000
500 packs or 2,000 packs is 15 or 20%, something like that. So we'll keep doing that. We want to go incentivize. You don't want to do it. Everything is a balance, right? Like we don't want to make it so that if you spend 100,000, you get all the packs in the world, because then that's no fun. But you want to give like a little bit of boost to the guys that are putting in some more money to encourage people to put in more and make sure that we have the funding to operate, the funding to improve the game and keep doing things.
The cards will be combinable, like you can level them up. You can.
Yep.
That's interesting. 500,000 packs, is that similar to beta?
Yeah, that's alpha was alpha was 300,000. So this is closer to
closer
like
to alpha.
But keep in mind, alpha was only $2. So the total dollar value of what we sold for alpha was 600,000. Beta was 900,000 packs, but it was still $2. So that was 1.8 million. So here we're at like 2.5 million. So it's a little bit bigger of a pool for cash for than it was for beta. But also like half that money is going back to the DAO. So the company's trying to raise something like a little bit over $1 million, make sure that we can keep developing this game and keep the lights on and keep people paid and do all that, attract other games here. But we're not, we're not like Chaos Legion with 10 million packs sold. We're looking for a much smaller round here for this.
Yeah, that does mean something kind of interesting, because the cards combine. A little bit of FOMO for you guys. If this game gets popular, I don't think everyone's going to have those top level cars.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's not enough for everybody, and that's by design.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want the top level cards. You're gonna want the top level drivers, and you're gonna want them both to live in your garage, pumping out fuel. You're gonna want them to race so that you can go take away as many colony from the track and get as many orbitals and basically just earn as much as possible. But you're right, there's not going to be an infinite amount of this stuff out there.
And also, this is something I was trying to point out on the side just before you go, baby. you guys
Yeah.
are designing this to be able to be played on a phone at launch, which is so much different than. And I'll just go through this really quick, guys. But as you could see, the idea that you could play this on a phone with a little controller adapter makes this very accessible to just about anyone out there. Um, and I mean, I can just see this growing at a much different level with popularity of people who just like to pick up a game and play it really fun and can win a little bit of crypto.
And that's part of the joy of Unity, right? Like, you push buttons and you spit out Unity apps, or you spit out apps for this stuff. So, I think this is going to be kind of like if if we get this right and it works as it should, games that come here are going to be mobile friendly to start, and it should be fairly common that from day one these things are mobile ready. So I don't think that'll be like the exception or something magical that we're doing. I think that every game that comes here from Unity is going to have mobile ready applications, if not on day one, then within the very first quarter of them operating.
And you kept on saying pumping fuel in your garage. It really gets me curious, like what will be the mechanic of actually earning the energy to play or whatever it will be called. Like anything you can share, like how are you going to be building up your energy so
Yeah,
you
it's
feel more
it's
fuel?
very land-like. You're gonna you have. No, sorry, I might have lagged there a second. It's going to be land-like, so you'll have a garage and you're going to stake NFTs into it, and based off the NFT quality, the higher rarity, and the more cards that you've combined, the more fuel that you'll earn. And so then you have to match that with, like, well, what car are you driving? If you're driving a level one common card, it doesn't require a lot of fuel, and you could do like 10,000 matches if you're just staking one really high level card. But the amount that you can earn with all level one commons is not super high, and the game isn't as fun, frankly, if you're not driving it 200 miles an hour or something.
You're not
Those
going to win as many matches as well, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to win as many matches, and it's not gonna be as fun. But you can certainly do it. The trick, I think, is you're going to want, basically, for every component that you have in your car, you're going to need a stake one card of kind of equal value for every race that you want to do in a day. So let's say you're a super busy guy. You're Steve, and you have all these Splinterlands games to play. You got a life and a job and some kids and all this crap, and all you have is time for one game. Well, I think there's like 14 slots that you can max equip into your car. So for each one of those, you're probably going to want kind of a corresponding card that you're staking in your garage. So if you're only going to play once, then you're just going to you'll have your cart and you'll have 14 kind of staked assets in your garage, and that's enough. But if you want to play 10 times a day, then for your one cart and kind of driver system, you're going to want 10 times as much stuff staked. And if you want to play 20 times a day, you're going to want 20 times as much stuff staked. So the players are really going to determine, how many shots do you have to make money? How many matches can you do in a day? How much are you raking in? You get more matches the more that you stake, and it's it's linear in that sense, that the more cards you stake in your garage, the more gas you get, and the more gas you get, the more you can play.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for the answer. That's definitely new information for me, at least.
One other little follow up some people were wondering about as far as the kind of the pump we're having to GLX and the GUSD for the airdrop. Is there any potential that's going to negatively affect those projects afterwards? I think that the added airdrop that you said that's going to be going on for as much as, is it 20 years will be distributed to the GLX people
It's
on those
5 years.
staked
It's
tokens?
5 years for
5 years?
GLX. The
Okay.
airdrop is 5 years. So yeah, I mean, it that's the balance of, like, okay, Well, if we do it just all in one day and everybody drops in one day, well, that has an impact too. And if so it's this balance of like, you know, if they're getting a small amount, you might not even get enough where you're like, all right, every day I'm going to check this, claim it, and then sell it. It might not be enough money to make that worth your while. So you want it to be in the spot where you're like, um, I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to let it earn. And I think we're going to be in that at least to start. Um, so it's guesswork. There's no like magic wand or magic fairy that lets me know exactly what the right proportions are to do this, but it's designed to encourage you to get, collect, stake, and hold these tokens. Um, because having GLX staked is probably one of the easiest ways to go get colony tokens over the long haul.
Yeah, I just saw there was a follow-up question from Theos. Are you worried about artificial inflation of GLX and GLUSD in the near term and a subsequent token crash after the fork?
Um, well, we're going to see what happens in the next week. If anything, I actually think this thing might be a little deflationary. So, like, I've heard a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm just going to wait until the very last day. I'm going to combine all my GLX. I'm going to put it into a liquidity pool, and we're going to make that available." And so people have kind of like 11 more days to do that. If the price goes up a bunch as a result of kind of people rushing into that, you might see a lot of combining to get out of GLX and into GLUSD. The GLUSD, I think that people are like, they might dump it. They might also like buy products from us. So those are two different options there. But especially with the kind of like script that folks are generating, I think almost all that script is going to get buried into like Mooncart's packs. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
I
as,
don't
as
see
I
that.
understand his question is that he's not talking about the script. Obviously, people will be getting the GLUSD just so they can get the free script so they can invest in the system. But then after that, that GLUSD, they're just probably going to dump it into the market, which might lower the price. So like which might depeg it from $1. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
possible.
but there'll be speculators on the other side. Like, because one thing I would say is that with mine, I'd be looking to buy finally more GLX stuff because now not only do I earn GLX while playing the game, if I build my stake there, I'm getting more arcade colony dropped to me. So there is kind of a counter play to that too. Like if you guys really dump it down to 50 cents on the dollar, then people can come in and buy it to get more into the other game. So it works
Yeah,
both ways.
yeah, we're going to see some finagling. There's no other way. There's going to be plenty of people that dump. There's going to be people that are going to be there to catch it. Um, so we'll see what that looks like, and we'll see what the market does. If we're like 60 days away from the halving, I think that's going to have a pretty big effect on this whole ecosystem. I think alt season is coming, so I tend to think that like whatever things our company does is really, really small compared to like the overall macroeconomics. So like if there is this kind of alt season that happens, whatever money our community is putting in now or dumping now is going to be like grains of sand compared to what the next full cycle is going to look like. And I think it's imminent. I think it's here. I think it's before the halving. That's not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to do anything with that. But I'm trying to position myself as much as humanly possible for the biggest altcoin season that I've lived through. Um, so yeah, some people might dump in a short term, but the amount of money that I think is about to enter this space is colossal. And when that tsunami of money hits crypto generally, the tiny little waves of GLUSD or script that we're doing in this ecosystem are going to be dwarfed by, companies the size of Fidelity and BlackRock putting in billions of dollars or trillions of dollars into Bitcoin, which trickles its way throughout this entire ecosystem. So Sure, there's going to be ups and downs, but I don't I don't spend my nights freaking out about it.
But the GeoUSD token will also be used for whenever other sport games come to the Genesis League platform, right?
Right, right. So if we're constantly looking for other good games. This is going to be our first Unity game that we are integrating, but that same system of integrating Unity, it works with GLS too. So if we find a football game or we find a basketball game, we find something that's built in Unity, we can just freaking add it into what we're doing. That's not, we're good to go with that.
Can you
So
can you recap what staking colony does within moon carts for you? Is
Yeah,
it
so not every part of that is public because we're still kind of doing it, but you're going to get just it, there's not like a separate pool in Splinterlands. There's a staking pool, right? So like you just stake SPS and you're going to earn SPS just by doing that. And that doesn't exist in Colony or in the arcade Colony ecosystem. The closest thing that that's going to look like is kind of the moon domes, which are stadiums and kind of like big community works projects where there's going to be shit tons of staking, but that stuff isn't going to be live on day one. So the advantage to staking is going to be sort of built in all the little micro decisions you make. Like how much fuel are you getting? There's going to be a component that is, a factor of are you staking a whole bunch of colony tokens or not? And if you're staking a lot, then yeah, you're going to get a bonus to earning your fuel. And if you're not staking them, you're going to get a penalty to staking or how much fuel you're generating. And the same sort of thing with like your ranked rewards. If you're staking colony, you'll get a bonus to your ranked rewards. If you're not staking enough, you'll get a penalty. And all throughout that system, it's going to be, how much colony are you staking? Um, so there's not like one particular number, just stake it here and you're done. Kind of like in Splinterlands, where there's a pool for staking rewards. It's just kind of built into every part of the game.
okay?
So,
So that's a little bit different. And you guys have, I think you touched on this during your last video you did with the team, but there is some kind of anti-bot part of this game where you're gonna try to limit them, from what I understand, or was that wrong?
Um, my guess is that we'll do something like in the first year, probably not care about bots and let them live because you need some match liquidity right at the start. But long term, I think we're going to have either, a bot license or, some kind of anti-bot measure. Um, I don't know. It's a mix. You want the match liquidity, but you don't want all the rewards getting siphoned. So we gotta find a balance.
Yeah, I think bots are really dangerous in an arcade game because I mean, if they're scripted to follow the track precisely, it's kind of like what chance do you have? I mean,
I mean, I think the game is tricky enough that just one bot doesn't do it. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
I
would there
but
be like different tracks? Like it will be just changing the tracks will be random and like there'll be weather conditions and stuff. Like would is there going to be some randomness in the gameplay?
well, there's currently three tracks now. So just like what track you're playing on, that's sort of your first piece of randomization. I want to go add more tracks. I want to have it where like the spawn points of all your coins and orbitals is different. So yeah, each track, not just because of the people on the track, but because of like the layout of the track, should be a unique experience every time you play.
All right, that's a good counter to like a bot being able to dominate the game. Yeah, because I do understand the idea. Match liquidity is something you need early on, but at the same time, if they were always winning the race, then people might get kind of discouraged and not want to play the game if they were too perfect.
Well,
So
but keep in mind, if they want to be racing all the time, they have to be staking a crap ton of
That's
items to
true.
do it.
That's true.
So this
So
isn't, it's
maybe
not like
that's the
Splinterlands where
key.
you don't, like you get 25 matches just like off the bat. And, you can do this as many times as you want. That's not quite how Arcade Colony is going to work. You gotta stake your tokens
Yeah.
to earn the fuel to be able to play. So, maybe in the lower leagues, you can just sit there and do 8 billion matches and okay. But in the higher leagues, if you're really trying to earn the tokens that way, you can't, um, you're spending fuel to do it. So, um, and your win rate would have to be somewhat high too, because you're like, if you're not in the top 50%, like every match will have six carts in it. If you're not in the top three, then you're not earning. So like, you gotta think about all of that as you're trying to balance this stuff.
All right. The crowd is asking if we can switch gears a little bit. And he did say the pun was intended there. And talk about GLG season one, with season two just around the corner with new packs coming out. Do you have a plan for season one cards to get a little advantage in some way to hold their value? Do anything to kind of make those cards stand out compared to the next ones coming out?
I think we're going to tweak gameplay a bunch. So it's a little bit early for me to give like deep alpha on what does season one versus season two look like. But I think season two is going to play a little bit differently. Um, so we're still working that out internally. Um, but we are trying to figure all that out. It does look like we're going to get a second season with the MLSPA. Get sort of a new packs and new players. Some of the players will be the same because some of the teams and some of the players are the same. Some of them are going to be different because new players come in and they switch teams, and so we got um, there's new stuff coming. I think there's kind of like new stats and new ways that we're going to do things for season two. Um, so that stuff is probably not here until like the end of April. Um, so we got a little bit of time, and I don't think that the full gameplay will be out and different until May. So we're still like 3-4 months out from all of that. So we still have some of that design work to do. Um, but like those are the discussions that we're having now.
Okay, so does that kind of seem like then there's going to be like maybe like two ways to play the game, with the season two cards and the season
That's
one cards being different leagues almost?
that's one possibility. I think it's better if everything is kind of like in the same league, but or like all in the same play mode. But we'll see. I mean, I haven't rolled anything in or out at this point. We're sort of like still um, doing some game design and still trying to piece together how this stuff might all work.
I have a question out of curiosity because I think I saw a few days ago Weird Beard in the Arcade Colony channel. Uh, is Weird Beard back in
Yeah,
action?
he's back part time. I love working with that guy. I think he's a highly dynamic human, good at organizing people. And what we need to be doing is sort of like um, building a lot of community within our community. Getting tournaments going, getting competitions going, getting teams and leagues and all this stuff kind of moving. And I don't have personal time to do all of that, and I need some help. And I think he's one of the best guys that I could bring in to go help organize this community. So he's not back full time, but he's back to help us in Arcade Colony and to help us in Genesis League.
That's good. That's good news. We like his energy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I I would have preferred to not do some of these layoffs. I would prefer to have my full team. So I'm trying to bring back my guys and trying to get the band back together. And hopefully, we've had 2 to 3 years of rough, shitty bear market. And I think we're moving in the opposite direction finally. I think it's going to get explosive here pretty freaking soon. And I think it's going to impact altcoins. And I think it's going to put us in a really nice position, both to hire back and hire new and grow this game and this ecosystem. That's not promises. I don't have a crystal ball, but we're sitting here at $52,000 Bitcoin, January of last year. That did not look possible. But here we are. Things are looking on the up and up. Like Bitcoin's only been at this price, what, like less
They
than
said like
less than
less than 200 days for sure. It
yeah,
was maybe 150, 160 was the last numbers I heard. So
yeah. It's a relatively small period of its life. I think we're moving towards like price discovery. The ETFs I think are freaking huge. Every single I just saw that like regional banks and banks were basically petitioning the SEC to be able to go buy into the ETFs. So like, fine, we can't buy crypto. Fine, a bank can't, but that's an ETF. We should be able to buy that. So if that happens, and like all the biggest financial institutions in the world start owning crypto through ETFs, maybe not direct hodling, but through these ETFs, it's going to be freaking insane. This next wave is incomprehensibly big in my mind. So, and I think we're there. I don't think it's like months out or years out. I hope that we see like new all-time highs in Bitcoin before the halving. Like that's my current timeline.
It's always
that's
so
pretty
exciting
wild because most people
to
think that
listen.
I've heard triple to 4x after having. So if we're already in the 70s or 80s going into it, that would be quite an interesting cycle for sure. And I understand what you're saying because the ETFs have just been going gangbusters every single day. For anybody who doesn't pay attention to this, the grayscale inflows finally turned back, outflows turned back into inflows, so they started going back up instead of everyone just selling out of it. And at the same time, the BlackRock one and a couple of the other ones are bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. And the people who are buying ETFs are not usually buying them to flip them. They see what's coming. They see that money can keep dumping into this. And the one thing about Bitcoin that makes it so amazing is the math is just the math. And if ever enough people keep buying it, it just keeps going up.
Agi,
Yeah, fixed supply is wild.
we really love having you, but I mean, I'm just trying to give you a way out because you said an hour.
Yep.
So we would love you to stay more if you have the time, but if you need to go, I'm just giving you a chance.
No, I got a full house and I got a bit up in the morning here. So I'm gonna call it quits. It's midnight for me. Thanks for having me on. Happy to
It's
go
been a
talk about this
pleasure.
stuff. You guys have I guess now we're after midnight. So you have 10 days to go get your Genesis League sports tokens to get your foot in the door and the arcade colony side of things. Mooncart, I think, is a very highly addictive, adrenaline fueled game. So you're gonna want to be in there on day one, ready to race, ready to earn, and come participate because I think this is just the start of awesome things coming. My little bit of alpha, I would love to see some like casino games on there in the not too distant future. So if that's your style, it's something totally different than the Mooncart stuff that we're doing. But there's going to be lots of fun to be had here, and we're going to bring different genres of things, and hope you guys can join us. So
we've done a Splinterlands poker night before. I'd love to just do it on the arcade colony platform instead of the one we had to use.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
push
yeah.
and shove, right?
Stuff's coming. More games are coming, guys. That's the gist of it.
That's
All
that's
right,
awesome to
All
hear.
right, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Techno,
Agi,
thanks for
again.
having
We're
me.
gonna be hanging on, guys, but say goodbye to Aggie, everybody.
Thanks all.
Well, that was special, that's for sure. And I know, guys, the town hall was amazing, and that's what we're going to get into now. But, Mooncarts could be the start of something special. Mobile first games, if we can prove that a Unity game, that, yeah, I know this isn't, Unreal Engine 5, it's not Illuvium or anything
You
like that,
don't
but
need,
it's not what it's trying to be.
yeah, you don't need it, man.
It's
People are playing billions of people playing arcade games every day, like on the bus stop waiting for the bus or whatever. They just, because it's something that happens quickly. You just get by, and yeah, you don't need to invest time and efforts and attention. And it's I love Candy Crush, man. And I know Candy Crush like games. So if they bring that
Dude,
into
like, could you
arcade,
imagine like the Fruit Ninja games, all the Clash of Clan games? And he's right. A lot of people in Web 2 try to copy those games, and they don't get as popular, but they have the games built. They want a way to revitalize their game. They want a free reward token. They come to us as the holders of Arcade Colony and go, yo, guys, if you'll give us 3 million tokens, we'll bring our game onto your platform. And, you can look at their player base, look at their game, and be like, all right, we'll give you the tokens. It's going to be an interesting thing, I think. And the bull market will make more of those projects start to look into it for sure.
yeah.
Yep, yeah, Ank's got it right. It's a quick and hi Ank, hi every birds, bees, and trees. Jesse, Rich, I don't think we said hi to you.
Come
Who
on,
else is
man.
out there?
You don't know who is.
Who's Jesse? It's
Oh, that's Aggie, man.
what?
That's
You're
Aggie.
right. That's Aggie. I'm a dork. I know. I just
It's okay.
realized that after I said it.
I forgive you.
Mark Orr is out in the crowd. Tails, thanks for some of the hard questions. We asked them, I think, and they weren't all easy ones. I mean, I think there are, obviously, if they're going to give you a double on GUSD, guys, you have to remember that the way you should look at it is if you put $1,000 into GUSD and you pair it with DEC, you have to be ready for impermanent loss on that pair if GUSD dumps. The interesting thing on that, just to say it, is that you could pull that DEC and GUSD out, and you might end up with a whole bunch of extra GUSD that you could go spend in Genesis League goals at full dollar amounts. But if you don't have any inkling of doing that, but you want money in moon carts, you get a stack of GUSD, you don't pair it with DEC, and you wait for the day in 10 days when the snapshot happens, and as soon as it's over, you dump it. And you might lose, depending on how quick you dump it, you might lose 20%. You might use 30%. But as long as you don't lose 50%, you should get a win on it because you're getting dollar for dollar match in script token. So if I invested 1,000 and I got 700 out of it when I dump it, then I got $1,000 in script and $700 here, and I lost $300 on doing this, but I made $1,000 on script, so $700 profit in theory, at least, as long as you want to put the money into moon cards.
Unless it's zero, everything is profit, man, because you're actually getting the amount on the other.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, like in my mind, I don't think it will go any lower than 50, because after it starts getting to 50 cents on the dollar, speculators are going to come in and buy it up, because there is reasons to buy GULX and goals and those kind of assets right now because of the Arcade Colony airdrop, right?
And not only that, and because it won't be the only game in the Genesis League Sports.
Yeah.
And I know people are disappointed with the goals and whatnot, but I mean, I think they're doing it right. I can see them doing it right in Arcade Colony at the moment, so they can possibly turn the tide in Genesis League Sports as well, because now they're going through the route of, instead of creating a game from scratch, they're actually looking for a working game already to implement into Web3.
Yeah, and you could have like real silly games, the like those baseball games where you just hit home runs, little 3-on-3 soccer games that have been made in Unity, little Unity baseball games could come over.
Fantasy games will be awesome if they manage to do that.
Yeah, and gambling games are exciting to have in there too. I mean, Hive has had its own casinos that got really popular for a little while.
Arcade Colony, he said he wants to really bring casino games there, so
yeah.
And it seems like SPS is the gift that keeps on giving and giving.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, and their way the airdrop works, that if he didn't explain it perfectly, from what I remember, there's 1 billion tokens that can be dropped, and you're going to get 1-to-1 drop with your staked GLX. But we don't know, there isn't a billion GLX staked, so there's going to be that's Arcade Colony up to a billion. But if in some crazy pump we bought up, I don't even know if there is a billion GLX tokens, and stake them all, then you would have that entire 1 billion airdrop just go to stakers of GLX. Nobody sees that happening. So maybe 200 million GLX is staked is what has been his guess. 300 million, 400 million. Then that 600 million that isn't given out in the initial airdrop starts to be airdropped out to GLX holders and SPS holders 50-50 pot is how they explained it. So let's say
And
400,000
liquidity
go
pools.
out in the initial airdrop. The next part will be 600,000 or 300,000 each given out to the stakers over the course of the next 5 years. I believe. Now maybe not. Maybe that's not the initial airdrop. Maybe that extra bit is quicker than 5 years. I'd have to double
No,
check
the
that. That's the only thing I'm not sure on.
initial airdrop is just for GLX and GOUSD. And then the 5 years thing is for both GLX and
And
SPS
SPS, yeah.
and the liquidity pools.
So the more that people buy and stake, the less that will be available for that 5-year airdrop. But they're guessing, like, at high levels, they said maybe 400 million will get staked, and we should be able to figure that out. But I'm not going into the things yet. But let's go ahead and talk about it. There was a town hall today, and wowsy, guys. These 2-week breaks are leading to just like a grip of updates coming out when they put stuff out. And Matt said he was going to go rework rank, and we are in the final season of the way rank works today. That's pretty amazing to hear.
When it ranks at fours, right?
We got the new airdrop card, so let me go find that image so we could bring it up. Or the new, I should say, what is it called again?
Conflict.
The new conflict airdrop card. I got to go get into the. I just barely finished the town hall like 20 minutes before we started talking because I had to do so much around the house, man.
Coming with a new ability, that card.
Yeah, the hamstring ability. So we got a new ability, and then we got a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's see if I go here. Is it in eye candy, or do I have to? Nope, it's not in eye candy. So I have to go.
Oh, it was 803 or 805, like in the town hall channel.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and talk about it a little bit while I look for that image?
Yeah, I enjoyed the town hall a lot. I actually like the new card. Just now people have different option when they play dragon than just spamming the Carnage Titan from second position. And the new ability kind of looks fun. I don't know how it will how it work on shield is my curiosity, because but it has kind of damage, so it should work on shield as well. But my point is, if it has only 1 damage and it hits a monster with a shield, does it still take one of his attack? But probably
I would think so, because if you have a monster with cripple and it attacks and it doesn't hurt the monster, it still cripples it.
Yeah, but if yeah, you're right. So, but I feel like if the monster has shield, it doesn't cripple him.
No, if you hit a monster with the shield ability, you still cripple it.
Even with 1 attack?
Even with 1 attack. The only thing is you can't ever kill the monster because it gets down to 1 life and you can't cripple it anymore. But I've seen that happen.
But I just kind of feel like I've seen a game where it was just hitting and not crippling. But maybe I was just not seeing right. All right.
So here it is. What is that? Kai? How do they say?
K something. Yeah, you talking out there with the full name because there was an image also with the name.
Oh, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I jumped back down to the bottom of the town hall chat like a dork. But I mean, well, we can just go over it. So, I mean, 4 attack is pretty good here. I do see at the weaker levels when it only has 3. But I mean, that's always 3 or 4. That's not bad. I like
Yeah,
that it has reach, and the fact that it gets ambush as soon as level 2 is pretty wild. It gets True Strike, which is so cool right now because speed is so huge meta. And it's that means it's gonna hit. Not only is it gonna attack in the early phase, but it's gonna hit. And then when you max it out, I mean, picture like you're going against one of those monsters that has a lot of shields, the Manaroths, the anybody else.
the
It's got
bear
yeah, the bear. It's got pretty good speed, so
because
it's
it has
probably gonna
exactly four damage
yeah, it
to
does
not
only
be.
4 damage, so it can hit Salty Bear for full damage. But it's gonna on the ambush turn hit them, shatter any armor, and lower their attack. And then if the next turn it's faster than that monster, it's gonna hit them again, lowering their attack again. So
So
it,
it just K. I just saw it just K.
okay, just K.
A
So
fancy spell, but just K.
yeah, so it's a pretty beefy card. It's a nice add-on to the dragon card and the dragon team, and it also is a very interesting card to work with the dragon summoner, whose name I'm forgetting right now. Not Lily, but the one that gives
K.
ambush.
Well, but no, because it has an ambush of its own.
Well, no, but now you can make it lends towards making that team with like 4 ambushes,
Oh, okay, yeah.
right? Because
A
yeah, I
cane.
mean Kane. because because if you don't have to make her ambush, she already ambushes. You can make 2 other cards ambush, and there's already a couple ambush cards out there in the meta. So you could very easily see now 4 to 5 ambush cards on a team, and you might get a whole turn where the other team doesn't get a
Yeah,
turn.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So that's it's definitely a handy card. One of the other things that's kind of nice. I like the 6 cost reach because a lot of the reach monsters in the game are kind of small. There's some big ones, but
Like
there's
Carriage Titan, which is pumped
yeah
all the
like Carnage Titan, but like the death ones are all 4 mana. The really good one on the blue team is 3 mana.
yeah.
There's like a couple that are higher than that, but 6 is an interesting one because that'll fit into kind of that 40ish 30-40 mana range really well without you like needing to play a really low mana card or obviously and also Carnage Titan. This would obviously be a replacement for Carnage Titan in your lineup,
When you don't
but
have enough mana.
yeah, when you don't have enough mana, you can run that similar team that people run with a Kane and Carnage Titan, but do it with her, and then just give the ambush to somebody else, and you still get two pre ambush attacks. Same thing as when you give it to Carnage Titan, gets 2 attacks. So it's definitely something that can like give that play a little bit more. So it's pretty amazing.
I'm just
Um,
thinking, would it be worth it the 5 BCX to get the extra attack and the sh shatter?
oops, wrong thing. I was gonna see if they had the town hall recap up already, but I don't know if they will
How
at
to go
this
the easy
point.
route?
Well, there was just so much.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Nope, it's not up yet. So,
it was basic stuff. Like everything that it's
well, I mean,
nothing
everything that they
new
said that is coming out tomorrow.
except except for the part where we get finally tower defense soon because it goes into Coconut's hands.
Yeah, so like the big headlines is that the Double Coconut bought back Soul Keep. They're gonna run it, so the game will come out. So that's pretty huge. We saw the next card that we just went over with you guys, and you're right. Ink Shatter is OP. The reward system rework is coming out at the end of this month, at the end of this season that just started. So next season, that's gonna the current leaderboard system and is gonna be completely gone. the
I just
rewards
finally get
chest system.
20,000 DC from leaderboards, and there's like, okay, no more leaderboards. Sorry, bye.
Yeah, sorry. I know I even got it a couple times the last couple months, and now I'm not going to be able to get it
Oh
anymore.
no, yours is still there. I mean, the champ.
Well, yeah, but can I get there in this new system? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see. I mean,
Now you have to fight
I
me.
can't
Now you
tell
have
if
to
the
fight
new
me.
rating system of always winning 20 and always losing 20, unless you're on a win streak, you get 40 instead, is better than me sometimes getting 10, sometimes getting minus 30, but also occasionally beating a Mondrade or a Lewis 88 and getting like 47, and when that's doubled, getting like 80, because I do that sometimes. So, but I do think always 20 and always minus 20, and all of us moving up in a way where you're no longer limited by your cards and things like that means that there should be an ability for us to get to a point where we're starting to get matched with people where it's like win one, lose one. And so that's going to be treading water. Your rating's not going to go up anymore, is what he's saying. You're going to reach a cap. And it's going to be interesting to see where those caps are in the new system.
Well, one thing is for sure, you're going to be seeing more of me late from next season on.
Yeah, because you can't stay in gold anymore. You're going to get
I'm
pushed.
never stayed
Oh,
in
no,
gold
diamond. You stayed in diamond, right?
because of my SPS, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, now I'll be
But
forced to kick your ass in champion.
yes, now you're going to have to come up and fight with me in champion.
Actually, I think a few days ago, I think I beat you.
You did beat me a few days ago.
Yeah, yeah. See?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the best player in the game. I'm one of the top like 150 players who's sometimes a top 50.
That works for me. That works for me. I
But
also virus once, so but he's not
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So.
I'm just glad that the game is way more competitive because I used to get beat by like players like Mondroid and Lewis and some of those top guys every single time. Now I can beat them. And I beat them consistently, like as in like I'll like I play them. I go, oh look, I beat that guy. Whereas I didn't used to be able to beat those guys at all. So
Oh, how
the
about the
cards
free
have
packs?
gotten to a point where if you get all the Rebellion cards and you have all the Chaos Legion cards and you've been playing for a while, you can be competitive against them all the time. And especially because my Kulu is now level 3. I'd like him to be maxed, but at level 3 he's definitely usable. So I can
Max
actually
and
use him.
I barely ever use him. But how
So
about the free frags and the Balthazar Wizards and what was the other one? There was one more. Do you get those often?
I the Blitz Wizard guys I play all the time. I usually crush them. They're my easy wins. But
Okay.
occasionally you run into a good
Because
one.
they don't have rebellion cards.
Yeah. Usually I crush them. Occasionally though, I run into one that beats me. But I like playing those guys normally. And I did find out those guys are scholar accounts, so that's kind of cool that someone's doing
Yeah.
that for them. We found I think I found that out a couple days ago when we were talking with Bajangles. But the
Yeah,
other
he
thing
told
is
me.
the reward store is coming, guys. The reward store is
Well,
coming.
but no, see, don't have that because they said it won't be with the implementation
Well,
of it.
yeah, it won't be
It's down the
immediately.
line.
It's down the line, but I believe it's going to be quick because it shouldn't be too hard to do. I mean, a shop is not the hardest thing to add, especially to sell items that they've already made. And they've already got the basics of it worked out. And I think the first version of the shop will be here relatively quickly. The first version is just going to be like you can buy potion chests, they'll probably be really cheap. You can buy card chests, they're going to be probably more expensive because they are guaranteed to only have
There are
cards.
different
And
types.
SPS chest. Did he say you could buy SPS chests?
No, they say there won't be any more SPS in the chests when that's implemented.
That's right. That's the other big
It will be
news.
just the pool, yeah. But also the what you did not mention is that the types of soulbound card chests, there'll be different types.
Yes,
So they'll
there'll be
cost
so
different.
it's kind of funny if you're even if you're a player playing in champion, if you needed common cards because your common cards weren't maxed out, you might want to buy bronze chests or silver chests and just get a bunch of common cards, as opposed to actually buying the champion chest or diamond chest would have the better chance of getting epics and legendaries. So
Like
it's going to be kind of interesting.
if I had to buy now Rebellion chests, I would probably go for the common chest because all the freaking common cards are like
Are not maxed out, right? So that's something that's going to be kind of interesting. And then he also talked about, while they're not going to give us the option to buy the exact card we wanted, they might do promos where there's going to be like a card of the day or card of the week, where like this week you can buy Kulu Swim Hunters for a lot of points. They also, so we're going to turn into kind of a rewards point system in the future. Well, I'd like to buy like 3 more. So,
yeah.
but come on, be the first one. No, but the
but they
the
also
only
take
thing
care
is
about
the
people
only
like
thing
you,
is
man. They
what?
also take care. They also take care about people like you because now you can save up your reward points for the
Yes.
next set.
Yeah, and I will. And the other thing that they said, to keep someone from like me being able to max out the next Soulbone set immediately, because I just don't need them anymore, really. So, is that
Well, you need Kulus.
I do, but but the thing that they mentioned was that they would possibly. Let me close this. I think it's some sounds are coming from.
Yeah, there'll be diminishing returns. It will be
There'll be diminishing
more and more.
returns. So like I can't just come in and buy 100 champion chests for a daily quest because I saved up a lot. Like one day because I saved up a lot of points, because they're gonna have a thing where like the first 10 you buy cost this much, the next 10 would cost this much, and it's exponentially increasing as you try to buy more and more in one day. So it's definitely a way different system. The other thing is, modern players will start to see big SPS rewards because they're going to take away the SPS from chests and split that SPS evenly
Modern players in
between modern and wild. But then since there's less people playing in modern, that means we're going to get a big increase to the amount of SPS we can win for playing the game in a battle. Yeah, yeah, Jason. I heard that cockadoodle do too. I think it was coming from Twitter, so I closed it out.
People in higher leagues in modern.
Well, you should. Everyone should get more.
Well, no, because now there is no more gold players getting gold one getting.
Oh yeah. There's no more gold people cheating it, right? And like Matt said, the big thing about this, guys, and as much as this new system, if it kind of screws you over, then to tell you the honest truth, guys, it means that you were in a spot where you were kind of exploiting the system. Like you were staying in gold and choosing not to invest more because it was letting you extract more, or because it didn't make you level up your cards to another level, or you were staying in silver because you didn't ever want to have to upgrade your cards. Well, now they're not going to let you do that anymore. If you want to play the game, the whole goal to get more rewards is to have a higher rating. Having a higher rating is going to push you to an upper league, and you're not anymore going to have the experts of silver staying in silver, the experts of gold staying in gold, the experts of bronze staying in bronze. They're all going to be a league or two up, and fighting with those cards, and then we're going to get the fact that new players who come into the game should actually be fighting against other new players.
I think you're getting distracted with the troll. Shall we acknowledge the troll or just?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we have to ignore him. He says that Soul Keep was not matched to sell. I don't understand that statement. We bought packs to play a game, baby. Did we buy the game?
No, but I also just when I see just people comment, I hate Matt, he's shady. I know Matt is not shady, so I mean, from that point onwards, it sounds like a troll comment for me, really. And I mean, we can entertain it. I mean, I'm totally up for it.
I just don't quite understand it. I mean, how do we get rug pulled when have you not been collecting SPS for your packs? I've been collecting SPS for my packs.
I've been collecting SPS for my packs. I'm
pretty sure, Ihors, if you bought assets, you've been getting SPS this whole time.
And I'm pretty sure
you kind of rug pulled the game, because normally you should have to play it and be good at it to win SPS and better than the other people playing it. But for now, all you got to do is hold the packs. You don't even have to open them.
And you can just the Matt could have just kept it in the limbo
And
for a
and
year.
if you think that he just like rug pulled you, maybe you should look at the price of the packs, because I don't know many rug pulls where you go up 43%.
For example.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel slighted, at least you can get out again at $2 a pack right now if you want to get out. That's not bad considering you've been collecting SPS for, I don't know, months, a year, like close to a year, however long it's been.
Yeah,
But
I noticed you did not pay for the game. You paid for the
yeah, we
pack.
did not pay for the game. They said they were going to make a tower defense game. We bought packs to be able to play the game and earn in the game. There was
And
an
now finally
SPS
we'll be
pool that
able
we
to.
voted from the SPS DAO could be rewarded to the game. When they couldn't get the game out, they decided to start giving us the tokens early. You know, I've bought assets for tons of games that never came out or still haven't come out, and they didn't decide to just give me tokens for 6 months. So I feel like Splinterlands did the best they could with this.
And it's
Um,
even better because now actually instead of sitting in limbo, somebody will actually be making it into production. So I think that that was a great news for everybody that was excited for Soul Keep, because actually something will be happening now instead of just waiting until
yeah.
the next
Look,
tough
the
times.
reason why he sold it was because they had the rights to it. That's why Splinterlands owned it, and his company had the rights to it. So what he did was sell away the rights to another company so that they could have the rights to run the game and make the decisions. But then they also get the responsibilities for spinning up the servers, for finishing off any other tweaks that need to be made, and then letting the game come out. But also because they have their own, it is now their game. If they decide to sell more packs, well, they decided to do that, and it'll be your choice whether or not you want to buy them. I mean, to say that we've been rug pulled at this point would be kind of crazy to me, because the game is actually going to come out. You're going to be able to open your tokens. You're going to be able to play it. You're going to be able to earn your rewards. Yes, other people might be able to come buy packs. Other packs might go on sale. That's completely normal for any game, any ecosystem going forward. And all it did was bring a project that was pretty much dead back to life, in my opinion. I don't know what else to say there.
In other news, we'll be actually getting Soul Keep soon, thanks to the decision, the game going in the hands of Double Coconut, which were the initial developers of it. So now they'll be making sure that the game goes out. So if any of you guys have packs from Tower Defense, there is a hope. Now there is a real hope that you'll be able to play Soul Keep and earn hopefully whatever was promised that you earn, and hopefully it'll be a good game. Actually, I didn't hear any negative thing in the town hall today. It was also positive. So that's why it's not like a particular day where I would like to engage with some trolling of a random salty user. But I mean, if you want, I can wait for you to finish your.
Yeah, and you know what? If a lot of people are upset with us, as a DAO, we decided to give them SPS they could reward out. As a DAO, we could decide to take it away. So if you're really upset, you have a way to talk to Clay, and if there's enough people that talk to him saying they're upset that the game was sold, he can put out a proposal that says no more SPS goes to the game. I don't think that would pass personally, because I think you're in the minority here, even though you are typing a lot. But
Or you can put 100,000 DEC and put the proposal
yeah,
yourself.
or you could do it yourself. But that's just the way this system works. And I'm not excusing them from being late. I've been critical on the whole Soul Keep in the past, but I'm not going to be critical of them the day it finally comes out. And I was less critical once they'd started airdropping me SPS. Because, like, when you think about it, we all got the SPS airdrops already. We're going to get Arcade Colony airdrops going forward. We're still going to be able to use our SPS for everything that goes on within Splinterlands. And that's the only reason I got into Nightmare packs personally. I didn't get in huge. I only bought around 100 packs initially, and then when they got really cheap, I picked up another 100, so I have 200 packs. It's not very many, but I wanted to support another game a tiny bit, and then I started getting free SPS for having the packs, so
Well,
it's fine for me.
it's probably more packs that he bought, although he calling himself an investor.
Yeah, you're
But
not an investor unless you invested in the Splinterlands company. If you just bought packs, you're not an investor.
well, he
Okay?
says so he
You can
has the
call
right to be
yourself that,
upset.
but you're just a pack buyer.
So he has the right to be upset. No, you have the right to be upset.
If I go down to the card shop and buy some magic packs, I'm not an investor in the company. I just bought some of their product. I don't understand this at all where he's coming from, this idea that we own Soul Pack because we bought packs.
So keep, yeah. Well, he's an investor, man. So
Now I do understand kind of the idea of like they did a pre-sale and the pre-sale was meant to get them some funds to make the game, but that doesn't mean that you own the game. It means you took a risk. That
I thinking about that. I should, since I have an iPhone, maybe I should be upset they're releasing the next iPhone again. Like they're selling the same phone,
I know
just
you're
with
right. They're
different
pushing
number.
that my iPhone down in value too because they released a
Yeah,
new one. I only have
I
a
mean,
13.
I invested in them, those a-holes, and now they're just putting newer and newer phones, and my phone is losing value. How can they say sell the same thing, iPhone, just change the number and sell it again and again, like 15 times, man? I'm very upset investor, man.
Yeah,
I
and you know what, dude? You have a
Apple,
right to be mad. Just don't be mad at us because we're not.
I hate Apple, man. They're
Okay?
scam,
I am
they're
financial, huh?
shady.
I don't know. I don't know.
Apple is shady. Apple is shady as hell.
But okay, but let's see. What didn't we talk about from the town hall yet? There was a lot. Um, we got the only things we got on land is that grain is soon, but they did kind of talk about why grain was taking so long. It's because they're designing the system as you suggested, kind of they would be, so that all the other LPs, when they need to come out, can come out very quickly, as opposed to just creating one LP pool. They're actually creating the back end system.
Yeah, which was I was saying about land overall that people were saying like if for 1.0 or 1.5 took them so much time, probably for 2.0 will take them three times more time. No, it's on the contrary. Once you have the backbones of something, it's way easier to build out on it. But what we didn't talk about is the new player experience, the
Yeah, you might not have
conflict
been here,
rentals.
Bajangles, but we did bring up the new card. I could throw it back up on the screen. It's amazing. The other thing we didn't talk about, I don't think, is the burning event. So we got the first pre-proposal for the burning event.
Yeah, because there is
I can
nothing.
show somebody here brought up some interesting math. So the way it's currently proposed, you could burn a max level column common card like a Pellicor Bandit that are running about $2.50, I think. Maybe they've gone up to 270, and you'd get 4,200 points towards the event. You could burn 4,200 DEC, which is $4.20. You get 420 points, or you can burn 84 vouchers and get the same amount of points. What are
Well, you
vouchers
still
at
be
right now?
getting three times that in the early days.
Vouchers are 3 cents, 3.4. So what's 84 times? I'm just trying to do. Nope, that doesn't work. 84 times 0.03421, $2.87. So that means that right now, the current best item to buy to burn, I think, are max level like the Pellicors. All the Pellicors.
Yeah,
If
probably
they're
Bandit
still
will
around the
be
250 mark.
the bottom of
Um,
that list because it's a good card actually. But actually they all are. I I I cannot think of a bad. Okay, maybe this one, but he's still with
He's got his use case, but if you
yeah
can pick out him,
with
if he's
Jacek.
max level. Oh, see, they've gone up. They've gone up to about the same price as 84 vouchers.
Yeah.
Though, why is this one listed at 280 before these ones at 277? That's weird on the sorting.
I don't
What
know.
what voodoo is? Is it because I'm not sorted by price? I am, right? Yeah, that is so weird.
Maybe
Oh
it was a
no,
glitch.
maybe I was on price per BCX or something. That's why.
Oh, it's still
Okay.
okay. It still doesn't make sense though.
Yeah, it still doesn't make sense. It's well, no, they don't, because it's doing them down. So
No,
you
from the most
see,
expensive
oh
down.
no, but this 279 is here. But whatever. So
Yeah.
it's 284 ish for vouchers. So these cards are all going to go up to about 284. So it makes me feel good. The other day I came in and bought a couple for 250, just planning to
Oh,
burn them. I bought some Pellicor mercenaries and I bought
I
some
still have
Gargoyle
some
Lions.
from before, but I was just thinking like all these Pelacor cards are awesome, man. Just
No, they're all really good. There's
and
just too many of them.
it would be sad, like, well, there are too many for the current player base, but I mean, it would be sad to see them just burn, kind of like, but yeah, I get it. People want to see some appreciation in the things they have, so it will be sad though. But probably if there is promo card, as Matt mentioned today, probably I will participate if it's just the Alpha Beta Rebellion and Rift Watcher packs. I
Yeah,
probably
like if there's some
won't.
kind of guaranteed reward that you can earn, I'll be much more likely to
Yeah,
participate at a bigger level, because then
yeah,
I'm not necessarily looking like I'm um burning cards for chances for a prize. I'm burning cards to get X item, and then I also have a chance to get a prize. So I hope he works out a way to do that. I do understand that they don't want to put a promo card in the game that and we end up with too many copies on because the burning goes too crazy, but you can see how the burn event, by him including DEC vouchers and cards, it creates a way to raise the floor on all of those things, as these cards have already basically become an equal price with 84 vouchers, which is what the equivalent of their power is.
yeah.
So
Because it's like not guaranteed. I mean, I'm sure those prices will those cards will jump with because they actually are good cards, and they'll be when eventually, hopefully, we get the new players, they'll be looking for those cards because they're played like I don't. There is almost no little league game in higher leagues without the Pelcor Bandit if there is a water team available. Like almost impossible. Like also same can be said about the Conjurer. Like so used. Just they're just great cards.
yeah,
So yeah,
like the
listen, they can come.
bandit, the mercenary are good. The deceiver's actually not that bad. He
No,
has a
not at all.
place. The conjurer is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm having I for some reason I can't move the Zoom meeting to show the card, but there it is. This one's ridiculous. I think the lion is probably the most overlooked of these.
Well, but it's still like if you look at the
It's
last
still
book,
not bad
it has
because it flies, and
I
in the
think
new
it has a
meta, flying is
retaliate
rare, and
and
it gets void and it gets enrage. So it's
enrage.
not bad. It's not a bad card. I'm just saying, out of these ones, well, no, this one is most overlooked,
Well, but
obviously.
again with
But
Jacek it has its uses as well. So I mean now with weapon trainings and everything, it's relatively fast at high speed. It's not so much susceptible to magic damage or at least has some protection from
yeah,
it.
see, and Jason's saying a point that I think is just wrong, and I'm just going to disagree with you, Jason. Having penny cards on the market in mass amounts is not good for the game. You might say that's good for a new user experience, but it almost sets unreal expectations because packs cost $4. And with DEC at peg, and it looks like it's staying at peg or it's pretty darn close to peg, there isn't any big discounts other than the fact that the secondary market's selling them for about $375. So if your card packs cost $375 and you only get 5 cards in a pack, having penny cards out there is just confusing. Because no card should cost a penny, right? Everything should be like closer to Rebellion prices. This is showing you your closer price. The bad common should be a dime, and the good common should be like a quarter, right? That's where they are on a $4 pack. And your rares should be, let's see, where are the rares right now? You know, here their bad ones are about a quarter. The good ones are 50, 60, 70 cents to $1. That makes a lot of sense on a $4 pack to me. I'd never understood this idea that we should want these cards to have to compete with cards that are a penny. Now, that's why the rewards cards, you know, have been so dramatically changed, because that wasn't good for us. It didn't bring people in. People didn't want to come here because they could get cards for a penny. They actually stayed away because the stuff they could earn was only worth a penny. So I don't think that it's a good thing to have those cards dramatically undercutting the market. That's why the new way they're doing it with soulbound cards, making you earn them over a long period of time and then making you pay to unlock them so that they're going to have prices that are similar to this, protects the market more. And if you can show assets stay at a good price, that's what brings people in like crazy into a game where you're buying collectibles and buying assets. Like, this game was the most frothy and had the most people coming into it when Yoden and Kitty were thousands of dollars, and our assets, you know, SPS was worth 50 and 60 cents, and everything was extremely expensive. And then they ruined it by putting out a set of 15 million packs. If they would have only put out, you know, 1.5 Chaos Legion packs, or maybe even 3 million only, or, you know, it would only gone up a tiny bit from Untamed to Chaos Legion, there's still, things would have just been dramatically different. There would have been less players, but it would have been different.
They're trailblazers. They don't have a playbook. They
they know they made a mistake, so they learned from it, and look what they've done with the new set.
Exactly. So happily they learned from it. So we see the new Soulbound reward cards, which was a massive change. That was a positive one, I think. We saw how Rift Watchers, even not to mention Rebellion, but even Rift Watchers, how they're holding up value. I think it was a mistake that they had to do, so they can do it better. And now we have it better. And yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people, me including, poured a lot of money into Chaos Legion. So
oh yeah, I bought so much Chaos
yeah,
Legion.
I know you included as well.
You guys, trust me, I got burned on that set just as much as anybody else that you probably know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, that's what happened. But at the end of the day, it all ends good. Like, it's all good when it ends good, right? So they learning something and they making it right. I think that's invaluable, because
yeah, and Jason, this is what's holding up those real bad cards to still being worth a dime. It's the whole conflict system. When this ends and the last airdrop has come out, the really bad commons might dip down to like a nickel. The really bad ones. Though I don't know if any of these are really that bad. I mean, people
not at all.
overlook them. This double strike is an interesting card. This guy is only 3, and look, he ends up with so much health.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think
8 health for 3 life, and he has 2 attack and can attack from the front. So
I think the worst cards are the epic ones. The rest are just awesome. So
yeah, the epics do have a couple duds, which is interesting.
Epics are terrible, man.
Not all of them.
All of them. Okay, except of the dragon.
This guy is good.
This
card is
it?
good. This one's good, and I finally maxed it out. This one's a beast.
Yeah, okay.
This one's a beast. This guy with Waka can be a beast.
Okay, it also can be with Talon.
This
That's not.
one's usable because of the thorns in the
Oh,
close
they are
range.
usable, but where I'm comparing them to the rest of the
The
Rebellion
poison
cards,
game, this guy with immunity can be clutch.
yeah, that's very limited usability. That's niche card.
And then
Niche
and
card is
then
not clutch.
this guy is the Grim Bardoon.
How many times have you used this guy?
A ton since I started putting Grim Bardoon behind him. He's
Okay,
kind
next
of a
time,
he's kind
next
of a
time,
throwaway. I admit he's a throwaway, but you do him, Grim Bardoon, and then the 4-cost mage that gives Grim Bardoon 2 magic, and he survives as long as he can. He's not terrible. He's got a self heal, so if they don't have affliction, he doesn't just keel over. But then when he dies, you get Grim Bardoon in the front with three melee and 2 magic attack, and his shield with healers behind him, and he just pummels people.
okay, open your last matches to see how many times you have used this guy.
Oh, I
Don't
don't
give me
know. I think
theoretical
today.
plays.
I don't think I used him today because I use Inevitable and Manaroth way more when life is available.
Ah,
Let's see. Do I have him? I was really bad today, really bad, and I surrendered like 3 times. So,
yeah, I thought so.
oh no, this was because it was no abilities when I used it there. So yeah,
So
I'm
useful.
not saying
So
it's a lot,
useful.
but I use it. I do use it when the right time thing. So
Well, of course, yeah. There are a lot of them are niche
look,
cards.
the meta is definitely inevitable and Manaroth, and like I've been trying this call me Tim one, and look, I beat Lewis 88. He's one of the best players in the game,
I know.
and I beat him with the double attacker, double ambush move that he talked about using. So, he said people might be sleeping on that on the People's Guild
Show me the
podcast.
battle.
So,
Show me the
huh?
battle. Show me the
Oh,
battle. Just replay.
yeah. So you basically just. Oh wait, but here I actually I gave her double strike, which was actually a mistake.
You mean
I should have
ambush?
given it to both of them, but in my stupidity, I forgot that I'd be attacking the Coral Lurker.
No.
It doesn't look like I'm going to win this match, does it? But the real
Well,
difference, the all star of this fight ends up being this guy.
yeah, I guess so because it's hard passing by Mantarat and the RNG because I mean
Well,
yeah. So
Mantaroth can't miss, and since all of his other back row attackers are not attacking Mantaroth,
yeah,
he's always getting to hit with armor, which is nice. And then you're gonna see, I'm just gonna have. This is funny. She actually survives because she keeps missing. Otherwise, she would just kill herself. But Manaroth is constantly getting those free hits on Coral Lurker. He doesn't have any healing on his side. And then the dragons got that blind, so I'm getting the occasional miss from their attackers. And then that attack was
yeah,
just clutch because it gives me more armor because I had a rust on. So now Manaroth is going to swing for 4, and he's going to
exactly how
finish off
much you
the
need.
Coral Lurker.
You need as much like you need exactly 4 so to get under the
Yeah,
uh
it was
force
perfect.
field.
Manaroth is one of the best cards to beat Coral Lurker, and if your team is designed to not attack the front row because you're scattering everywhere and you ignore him, it doesn't matter that you half him. He's just going to slowly beat your team to death. And that's what ends up happening here. Is that the Chaos Dragon just with some clutch blast hits, because this guy, he sucked. He missed way too much, which is really his complaint, is that he's too slow and he misses.
But when
So,
he hits hard. So
yes, he does. He does. So that was that battle.
yeah,
This one
was
I lost, and it was unfortunate. I thought I could beat that team, but I was wrong. Too much repair. He played this guy and this guy, had a grip of armor, just kept repairing it, and I couldn't get the battles. But Frosta is one of the other better players in the game, so not ashamed to lose that match.
oh, you're still in diamond.
Oh yeah, well it's only 2 days into the season, and I only made it to Champion 2 last season.
Oh,
I got close to Champion 1, but I didn't get there. So the first day I played bad, and it's kind of hard to get rating up when you accidentally forget to do a team, and then you accidentally forget to do a team
especially
when you were on a win streak, and
especially hard.
you forget to do a team, and
Yeah.
you lose to a guy at 3-2, so it's a huge loss.
And
And
just
then
to
I lost to another 3-2 on a. Ugh. I mean, those are
and
guys I probably would have beat.
just to
So
throw you to throw yourself, you did two more random wins in between, so it would be a even longer streak.
yeah. Trust me, I did. I That's what happens when you play and you're trying to watch the town hall and do other things on your computer. It was
But what
not
was this
smart.
thing? What was this insult about the 3-2 guys?
The what guys?
The 3-2?
Oh, they only have 3,200 points.
Yeah, I have 3,232 points.
Well, yeah, but
So
I have 35. So when I lose to them, I lose
but
40
you only
points.
you only have 35 because you started in a higher league.
But I'm just saying, I don't want to lose to the guys with only 3,200 because in the current ELO system, it's a huge minus.
Ah, that's what you
I
mean.
certainly don't want to forfeit to them.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, Splinter Shirts. I'm giving everyone a head start and I'm handicapping myself.
yeah.
I also typically I don't play a lot during the beginning of the beginning of the season normally, um, because of the silliness of being at the top of Diamond and mostly playing people way lower than you. If you get shot into Diamond, it's kind of better to wait a day or two and let
Well,
people
that's
catch
going
up.
to
But
change in 2 weeks, man. So
yes,
let be
in
gone,
two
be
weeks
gone.
that's going to change, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah,
So.
it will be nice rubbing shoulders with
It'll be
the
interesting. I mean,
champions.
my current record is 23 wins and 22 losses, but if I didn't give away, I think I've had 3 surrenders. I maybe could be a little bit better than over one over 500. Last season,
I only played a few matches this season, but I didn't even check.
I
So,
had a losing record. That's why I got
oh,
stuck in Champion 2.
hmm, that's not
But
disadvantage. I
I do
want.
have a history of doing those surrenders, though. It's because and
Well,
I know why. Like, it's kind of funny. I know why I had a bad season last season. It's because I tried playing Splinterlands too much when I was playing big time. So then I would surrender matches sometimes because I would click battle and I'd be waiting and the match liquidity and champions kind of low sometimes. So then I'd get frustrated and I'd start doing something in big time and I'd forget to look at the other monitor and all of a
yeah,
sudden I
it's very
surrendered.
the wait time is very frustrating. But see, I was looking at my stats: 23 battles, 14 wins. I think not bad.
Yeah,
Didn't play
yeah,
a lot,
that's
but
good.
yeah. But yeah, I think that one. I'm hoping one thing that will change is like there'll be not that much weight anymore because generally people will be moving up, so you have more opponents to face.
Yeah, it's just because Splinterlands is supposed to be a quick game, so when you hit that battle button and you stare at it for like 20 seconds and nothing happens, what happens to me sometimes is I literally just will be like, I'll just click over here and just be like, oh,
Yeah,
let me
you
look
go
at
to
what's
other
going on
tabs.
this website. And then I click back on Splinterlands and it goes, you surrendered. I go, crap, I
Yeah,
spent that long on Twitter?
yeah, yeah. That's exactly what happens. You click on another tab and you lose track of time, and then bye bye.
Yeah, so I'm going to try not to do that anymore this season. I'm going to try to stay more focused and actually submit teams because I'm a pretty competitive player if I put a team on the board.
Just leave it for the next season. This season doesn't matter much.
Well, it'd be nice to hit the champion leaderboard on the last one of the old
Oh,
system. So
you
we'll see if I
greedy
can do it.
you
We'll
greedy you.
see. I don't know if I can though. I have to play a lot of catch up. But and I did invest some more money into cards. I started using like just a little shout out, guys. And have any of you used the Rabby wallet?
Rabbi.
Well,
No,
because I switched over it from MetaMask, and I'll show you guys why. Well, got to put in the right password. Oops, knocked my mic off the thing.
I can see a keyboard.
No, you can't. And
I know.
even if you could, just knowing the password to unlock my wallet, which I don't apparently able to type right
Yeah,
now.
you don't even know your password, so
So, the Rabby wallet tracks all your money across all of your chains and automatically switches to the chain that you need to be on the website that you want to go on. So if you're someone like me who has a couple $1,000s on Pulse, a couple $1,000s on Ethereum, $1,000 on BNB, I can go back to the sites and I never have to change what network I'm on.
good that I don't have your
So
problems.
so this thing is pretty cool. The other thing it does is when you click this little button and like I look at my money that I had on ETH and Pulse, and then you go down here to the bottom, it shows what you have in liquidity pools. And all of a sudden on here the other day, I saw I had $1,000, like a $1,200 in Superverse, and I was like, wait, I have money in Superverse? And then I was like, oh yeah, that's that Elio Trades project. It had gone way down, but it had come back up to $1. I was still way down. So I don't know, Ink. Did they give out the airdrop already? Because I did join and I got some Rabby points, but I didn't. I don't know if I'm getting an airdrop for them or not. I got my big amount of Rabby points here. So if anybody wants to use, no, I don't know what it is. I'm not worried. I'm not going to get a big old airdrop, but I have. But you know, you can go between your couple wallets, and then you can use it, and it's just really cool because I found $1,200 on Superverse. I went and checked out their website. U.S. people got banned, so don't tell anybody. But I used my VPN so I could
Yeah, US
unstake my
people don't know how to
tokens.
use VPNs. I know.
So I unstaked my tokens and I sold them to ETH because I'm like, if I'm banned from this site, I'm not gonna stay in it
I mean,
because it's
he's
gonna be a
American,
pain.
man. That's total bullshit.
Yeah, it is pretty bullshit. I was so confused because I went to the website, it let me go to it. I kept hitting staking, and it wouldn't even tell me that I was not allowed to stake because I was an American. It would just say bad gateway. It would just block me. It literally would say you are blocked. It wouldn't say why. It just say you are blocked. You are blocked. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, it's got to be because of my IP. So I throw on my VPN, go back to the site, click over it, and then it goes, yeah, we got $1,000 of your money. And I unstaked it, and I said, I'm out of here. Totally
Yeah, I
forgot
mean,
about this project.
yeah.
I did. I claimed my points. This one I only have 118 points because this wasn't the first wallet I connected. My second wallet, my third wallet, my second wallet is the first wallet I came in on. So they gave me 1,299 points. I don't have any more to claim. See, I claimed them. But I don't know what you get for the points. Do I get a Rabby token, Ink?
You
Or are we
get
just
some
guessing?
rabbi, you get some rabbis coming knocking at your door.
I guess I could set a code. So referral code Steve R82. Confirm. Okay, then copy. And if wait, okay, and then I'll share it on X.
Ah, you can share them with you can share it with them. It's your channel anyways.
What? Why is X taking so long? Post. And then, if any of you want to sign up for the Rabby wallet, you get some free points. And Ink seems to think we get an airdrop. I don't know that we get an airdrop, but I think we do. So here's the link to the tweet. You guys can follow me on Twitter again, and I will shout out that the Rabby wallet works very well. It inputs from your MetaMask very easily. It tracks all your money on all your chains, on all your liquidity pools, and it has internal swaps where it compares swaps on different sites. So it's kind of cool.
Since we're doing since we're shilling things, if it's not 100% confirmed, guys, but there is a good chance that After Dark 2.0 Fest will be happening 20 April 29th or around this date in Vegas. So whoever wants to meet some Splinterverse people, After Sound and Darkest Night seem to be organizing theirs in a couple of months in
Is
Vegas.
Darkest Knight still a Splinterlands person?
Well, I mean,
No,
he's
I'm
still
just joking.
community.
I
Yeah,
like him.
yeah.
He's a good
He's still a
guy.
community. I
I
guess
know.
he's still a community person, but yeah, just in case some of the people here on a remote chance that they don't listen to After Sound streams, yeah, that's coming, and I'm planning to definitely go if it actually comes to fruition. I'll try to drag along this guy as well. But I
Yeah,
mean,
Vegas is definitely something that is kind of doable. I just will need to know the exact date. I'll need to check it with
April
work.
29th,
Well, what day of the week is that? How long are they going to be there?
for a weekend,
April 29th is a Monday, though.
then probably for a week. But I mean, it doesn't have to be the first day. It doesn't have to be like, I mean, obviously it's not.
Well,
He
you just
just
got to
sent them.
remember, I have a wife and two kids, so I have
I
to
know,
work.
I
I have
know, I
to work
know,
out disappearing to Vegas
I
to hang out
know,
with the boys.
but I think we can still get you out. It's once per year, so
Yeah,
you have an understanding wife, so and
yeah,
supportive.
yeah. And Ink, I understand. If you want to use a different wallet, yes, you have to give them your keys to import your wallet. That makes sense because how else would they get access to your wallet? But if you don't trust them, that's fine. I finally started using it because a lot of people with quite a lot more money than me had been using it and said it was safe, and so I went ahead and gave it a shot. So
Good for you.
yeah, if you
And
want to see me shield, I could talk about Spark Swap. That's been going great. No, but I'm going to start doing my videos again on all
it's your
my projects.
it's your channel,
I
man.
was
You can.
telling, just like I was telling Aggie, I just got so dismotivated when they banned me from Twitter because my Twitter was doing so much better than the YouTube stuff. Not that I don't love all of you who come and watch me here. I wanted to grow the reach, and I was getting, a 2,000-3,000 views on those videos. Now the people weren't watching them all the way, but at least 2,000-3,000 people were seeing them. So that's what I was doing, and I was loving it. And then they're just like ban hammer, and it wasn't even for anything I did.
And now you're back in the game.
It's funny because it like I hope I'm officially back and it's not some kind of bug they're gonna fix. Because if I load my account on my phone, it still says that I'm suspended, but then it lets me in and lets me do stuff now. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. It's kind of weird.
Well,
But yeah, I
use
mean,
use your
it's
time
a it's
wisely
a
while you can.
it's an exciting time, like Aggie said, Bitcoin is up. Splinterlands is coming out with a million different things. We're getting a new ranked system. We're getting a new ranked reward shop coming. The land grain markets are coming out. Matt did say that he wants the team to pester him to get us the land 2.0 white paper. We're getting another token airdrop to us if you're a player of this game. So even if you don't
Getting a
want to
brand
play
new game.
Arcade Colony or Moon Carts at all, you'll have a token you can dump and do. I don't
Or no, I
think.
mean, even if you don't want to play the Moon card because those kind of racing games are not your thing, it's a arcade colony. There'll be thousand, well, maybe not thousand, but there'll be plenty of arcade games. I'm sure some of the like there'll be at least one arcade game that you love, and I mean, why if something is given to you, is gifted to you, well, see what you can make out of it. Don't be in a rush to just sell it because maybe in the future it so happen that this arcade thing explodes, which it might because it's arcade, and then you are left with a token that is worth way more. Who knows? I mean, not a financial advice, but arcade is a big thing, huge, huge.
I actually don't know what this is. What is a gas top up?
Um, when you eat beans and then you gas
Oh,
all
that's
the.
interesting. Basically, you get Rabby points one of two ways, guys. Because Birds, Bees, and Trees is asking, so I'm going to answer.
But I think this claim is clickable, man. It looks like it's clickable.
Yeah, he can
Oh,
click on the link to get them, but you can.
no, no, no. The claim links, they seem like clickable.
No,
No?
no
Oh,
points available. Like, well,
okay.
because look, you can refer a new user and then you get 50 points. So obviously, there's some big social media people who are shilling this. You can you can use it to do a swap on Rabby. So I earned a whole extra 10 points the other day on my other wallet because I did a swap into DEC of $200. Has to be $100. Or you can do this gas top up. This seems to be like take tokens from other chains and turn them into Ethereum. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but I don't know why they call that a gas top up, but I guess it's a way to get gas money. Um, Everybody is assuming Rabby points is going to be some kind of airdrop for Rabby tokens. Oh, you
Okay.
buy gas fees when they're cheap to use. I see. Okay, that's interesting. So it's like you can prepay gas.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm using it really because I'm a complete Deegan and I'm investing in Pulse Chain projects and Binance Smart Chain projects. I'm invested in Ethereum projects. I have a little bit of money over on Polygon. And the big thing for me is you can go to any site and it just automatically connects you to their app on the chain that you need to be on. So it's just kind of crazy. Why is this saying that my wallet is up like a 42,000%? That makes no sense. Oh, it's because I funded it. This wasn't a big gain, guys. This was a new wallet I created, and I sent ETH to it. That's how you go up that 42,000% because it went from 0 to like 2 Ethereum. Ah, that's kind of funny.
Um,
Oh, cool, Inks.
maybe-
Thanks for letting me know. So you earn the points by doing stuff with the wallet or referring people to the wallet, and then if they're giving out points, they say you're going to be getting an airdrop probably. Um, I haven't investigated it enough. I actually just started using it because it's made my life easier. As far as my crypto projects, I don't have to, like on a MetaMask, it's just annoying. You have to click and click, go down to the right network. And then the other thing is about MetaMask is if you're like, if you have a project on Ethereum open and then you open a project on one of the other chains, MetaMask will start fighting on the two sites. It'll go, this site wants to switch you to BSC. This site wants to switch you to ETH. This one wants to switch. It'll just keep saying that to you. So it's just a smarter wallet. So that's why I started using it. Maybe I get a little airdrop if you guys all download it with my link. Maybe I get a bigger airdrop. I don't know.
does it
But
support Hive engine?
oh, Hive has a new wallet. Do you see that? The new Hive keychain?
Yeah, yeah. But is your Rabbit thing supports Hive
No, it
keychain?
doesn't support Hive, but I don't need it to support Hive
Yes.
because I have the Hive keychain.
Cares
And
then?
this wallet is awesome.
Yeah, who cares then, rabbits? Is
Hey,
it
hey,
rabbit or
I
rabbi?
look, it was, you know what it was able to do that impressed me? It was able to swap into DEC and give me multiple quotes on it and let me use it. I was able to use another site to save some money on gas and get that $280 worth of DEC the other day, and it just without any problem. I didn't have to go to Uniswap, just in the wallet, and then I imported it with the ETH thing, and I went shopping. That's when I got my Max Dragon, and I bought up some gold cards. I got my first Max Rebellion gold card. I guess I could show you that one really quick.
Sure, you can do that. That's way more interesting than some rabbit wallets.
My first Max Rebellion card is a common. So gold, and then I have to do common. And it's this little guy,
Uh,
the Chaos
that,
Rear Guard.
and you max him by just buying him?
Yep, I just bought him right off the market. Now, he was one of the ones I wasn't selling, so I had pulled a decent amount of him through my pack openings, and since he never sold for more than like $2, I just kept him.
I wonder why.
And then I leveled him up, and a lot of people don't like him, but
I
I
wonder
do
why
use
that's
this
true.
card. I do use it in
You
very
do?
low
You
mana when
literally,
I run the Kelia deck. I'll put him in front instead of the crab.
you
I
literally,
yeah, and not even in Little League, just low mana. I'll put him on the board instead of the little 3 cost with the armor.
yeah, cruel
The
Cetropod.
yeah, instead of the Cethropod because he has a shield, and that shield can make a big difference sometimes. So, and the other thing is that in Super Sneak, he's a great back row tank. Literally, well, like it says, Chaos Rearguard because he has
It
the
covers
shield.
your ear.
There are
Yeah.
not a lot of cards that cost 4 that have a shield. There's a couple, but not very many. There's the that I also like the shield on the death one, but it's a Chaos Legion card. The little bug. He's a 3 cost shield character. I like that card too. It's just it is situational, but I am thinking about maybe pushing to have a max gold common set, or at
No.
least the ones that are like $2. Only because if the card is $2, it's better than buying a pack for $4 because you get more points towards the conflicts. And since I haven't maxed out my commons on regular yet, I only have 8s and 9s. I could switch and go to golds if for at least for the cards that people are selling really cheap.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But there's not that much on the market, so I have to buy them sparingly. Like I'm buying the 2 or 3 that are $2, or the 4 or 5 that are $2, and not buying the ones that are $2.50 and $3. So we'll see if people want to keep selling them to me for $2. So Ink says it's a good tank. He agrees. He's a pretty good player. So,
Awesome.
this is the stupidest card of the set, in my opinion. This one. I was like, how are you going to have a taunt card with Scattershot? I don't get it.
Oh, I said it's initial analysis that was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but still, like, it just doesn't get any better. It's like,
Well,
what?
maybe it can accidentally land on the
Yeah,
on
you
a-
can accidentally hit the taunting character. I mean, I guess the only reason maybe it's not completely terrible is because Scattershot is a meta to get around the Gribbardoon decks, and it has Scattershot, so maybe I think it's so stupid because I have Yasic. So when I want to get around Grimbardoon, if I'm running Fire, I'm running Yasic, so I don't need them to have Scattershot. But I guess if you don't have a Yasic, then maybe you'd use this sometimes.
or if you want to play something different than Yasik.
But you know what, guys? Once the town hall is out, I think I'm going to do a recap, like doing a little bit more like breakdown of all the stuff coming out in the next release, because we didn't do that tonight, but I don't remember everything that was said. There's a lot coming out tomorrow, but the real big stuff is at the end of the month when we get the new ranked rewards. And
There's nothing
good job
coming
there,
tomorrow.
Ink. You're
Tomorrow is
beating me on the
Friday.
conflict. I have to see. I was trying to get to 2,000 chances, so I would get 10. I'm not quite there, but the market was like the cheap gold cards were all gone. So yeah, see, some people put some again for just over $2 because I bought them up to like 240 yesterday.
Just
So
so I don't want people to feel misled. There is nothing coming out tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Tuesday.
We already for
Tuesday.
Thursday town hall, so it will be next Tuesday that some of the stuff is coming, but most the end of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, the one big thing I could say, even though not many people are probably going to see this at the 2 hour and like 20-minute mark of this stream, they did say that some more pages are moving on to the tech modernization on Tuesday, and that's kind of exciting because that's the stuff they're doing to get us ready to have the game really, really work on a mobile browser. So that's nice to see more of that getting done. I think we should probably call it quits.
Yeah.
We've been here a
I
long
was
time,
having
and Ink's the
I
only
was
one
having
talking
this
anymore.
stuff,
Thanks again to Aggie for joining us. That was a lot of fun. I know we mostly
right?
talked about his projects while he was here, guys, so thanks for enjoying that if you did. And I do owe you a full Town Hall recap video that I'll try to get out before that stuff goes into effect on Tuesday, like I used to in the past. Just
And,
because there is a lot to talk about.
and I owe you nothing, but I appreciate you guys being here and staying with us. And yeah, I think we had an awesome guest tonight. We had an awesome town hall before that. So happy days. I'm excited for both Arcade Colony and the change in rank play.
All right, bye everyone, and thanks for staying to the end, Supreme and Splinter Shorts. Um, if you didn't catch the beginning, Aggie was here for an hour, so you should check that out. And thanks again for staying with us, Hank. Bye.
Bye, guys.